Hi, and thanks for downloading Wink. As you can see in the counter below, your software download will begin in just under 5 minutes. The purpose of this video is to show you how to use the software, so just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Wink is a totally free practice management system for eye care professionals. Wink earns revenue through advertising and sponsors. A full description of our business model is available via our website, or you can call us toll-free at 1-888-764-4318. During the next 12 minutes, we're going to show you how to use your Wink software. More specifically, we're going to show you how to manage your inventory, schedule an appointment, register a sale. If you'd like to know more about other parts of the software, including electronic health records, insurance processing, recalls and reminders, or reports and statistics, feel free to watch one of the other videos on our site or call us at 1-888-764-4318 and one of our representatives will be happy to chat with you. Now let's get you started. In about 4 minutes, a link will appear below this video. When you click on it, a full version of Wink will install on your computer. Once installed, simply double-click on the Wink icon on your desktop to launch the application. Once your application has launched, you'll be brought to this page. The username and passwords are admin, all in lowercase. Then simply click on Login. Upon launching the software, you're reminded of the importance of using your Honeywell Barcode Scanner. Every item you print via Wink, be it an invoice, a worksheet, a label, every item printed includes a barcode. Now all you need to do is scan that barcode and let Wink open the file that you're looking for. So for those of you worried that Wink might be difficult to use, fear not. If you can scan a barcode, Wink will do the rest. A description of the Honeywell Barcode Scanner can be found in the Wink catalog, available via our website or in the email we just sent you. Now let's begin with inventory management. Let's begin by adding some of the new frames to our store's inventory. Let's assume that we've just received 2 new frames from our supplier. To enter them in Wink, we'll click on Product Receipt Transfer. What I'm about to do is recreate my supplier's invoice. I'll begin by selecting my supplier, my account number, and typing the invoice number for the products I've just received. Now the first item to be added to the invoice is a product which I regularly keep in stock. So I simply type in the name of the product in the field like this, and press Enter. By doing so, a list of all similarly named products in inventory appear in this window. I'll go ahead and double click on this one, and I'm done. As you can see, the item and its associated cost have been added to this recreation of my supplier's invoice. Now I'm going to add a second frame to this invoice, but this time I'll add one which I've never ordered before. To begin, click on Create New Product. Select the type of product to be created, in this case a frame. Now enter the brand, model, and color and dimensions of the frame. As I do this, please note that you may leave as many of these fields blank as you wish. At a minimum, however, we strongly recommend you fill out the fields I'm filling out now, especially since the more complete your data is, the easier it'll be for you, your staff, and your ophthalmic labs to work with it. Label color refers to the color of the labels that you intend to affix to your frames. In the Wink catalog, our sponsor has made available a variety of multicolored labels which can make it easier for you and your staff to organize your store after a busy day. Below these fields, I'll enter my cost for this particular frame, $100, and click on Add. That's it, the cost has been saved. Now I'll click on the Retail Price tab so as to simultaneously define the price at which I intend on selling the frame. In this first field, I enter the lowest price at which any member of my staff may sell the frame, say $200. And in this second field, I'll enter the default retail price at which I would like for this frame to be sold, say $300. Please note, whereas my staff will not be able to sell this frame for less than $200, I as the system's administrator can sell the frame for $0 if I so wish it. Again, when I'm done entering my data, I click on Add. And I'm done. In theory, I could click on Save now, but we highly recommend that users click on the Tracing tab first. As you can see in this tab, you can enter the type, shape, and gender for the frame in question. We also recommend you enter the B and ED frame measurements. All of this data will eventually appear in the RX worksheet to be forwarded to your lab, but it is also useful for purposes of reporting and statistics. Now that I'm done, I click on Save. And now I'll close the window. Notice that the second frame was automatically added to this recreation of my supplier's invoice. A quick check to make sure that my totals and my supplier's totals both match, and I click Save. Now that my data is saved, the Print Barcodes button has become enabled. Assuming your computer was connected to the Datamax label printer described in the Wink catalog, you'd simply click on Print Barcodes. Finally, click Update and Print. And you're done. These two frames have now been added to our Wink inventory. We can now hang our new labels on those frames and place them in our display case for sale to patients. Now I'll close this page and take you to the second part of the demo, the appointment calendar. Booking appointments in Wink couldn't be easier. I'll start by clicking on Appointment Schedule in the top left here. The Wink calendar is designed to accommodate many doctors at once, but I'll just select one for our purposes here today. Now let's say that I want to book an appointment for Sam Smart on April 30th at 12 p.m. I simply scroll to the appointment slot in question, right-click, and click on Book. As Sam is a returning patient, I can search for him by name, phone number, medical card, or any of these other fields. For now, I'll just type his name in this field here and click on Enter. Upon doing so, the system will find all the Sams from the database, including Sam Smart at the bottom here. Now all I do is double-click on his name. The window automatically closes, and as you can see, his name and phone number now occupy this cell. And that's it. We're done. Simple enough. If you're thinking you might want to enter more data, then you can always right-click on the cell, click on Appointment Details. Now I can select the type of appointment. Or I can prompt the system to send Sam an immediate appointment confirmation or reminder by email, SMS, or phone. All free. Oh, and by the way, of course Wink can send these reminders and confirmations automatically. Now I'll go ahead and close this up so we can begin the last part of this demo, how to register a sale. Okay, so to recap, we began by adding 2 new frames to our inventory. We then moved on to booking an appointment for Sam in our calendar. Now to generate a sale, you must either create a new patient, or you can find an existing patient in the database. Since Sam is already in our database, I'll click on Find Patient at the top left here. Now just as we did earlier to schedule an appointment, I'll type Sam's name in the first cell, press Enter, and double click on his name. Now we're in Sam's file. In the center of the window here, we can see all of Sam's contact information, including his phone number and address. On the left-hand side of the screen, we can see all the different actions we can take with respect to Sam's file. Since our objective at this time is to sell him a new pair of glasses, I'm going to click on New Invoice. What you see here is a blank invoice. At this stage, you might want to add an eye exam to the invoice, so I'll go ahead and type the word exam in this box and press Enter. Remember, with the barcode scanner, typing is not required. Notice that a window has opened with all the products and services in the database containing the word exam. Now I need only double-click on the item to be added to the invoice, and there you have it. The exam has been added to the invoice. Now if this were the only item to be added to the invoice, I could type Sam's credit card in my terminal like this, and click on Charge to Card. But before doing that, let's add a frame and lenses to this invoice. To do so, we need to create a new worksheet. So at the top here, I'll click on New RX Worksheet. Now let me show you how easy this is. First, I'll enter the patient's prescription over here. Of course, if the patient's medical records were stored in the system, this step would not be required. By the way, notice that the software is designed to accommodate both negative and positive cylinders and will automatically transpose for different users as required. Now let's assume that this user needs progressive lenses. I could also add a prism to this prescription, but that's not so important for today's demo. And finally, I'll copy the prescription from the right eye to the left eye by clicking here. If the patient has a different prescription in the left eye, I could click to modify it like this. Now let's add the far PD, near PD, and the height. For those of you who prefer typing over using a mouse, you can click in any cell, type your data, and press Tab or Enter to move to the next cell. Now we need to select the lenses for this prescription. Wink makes this process effortless and error-free. In essence, Wink has pre-selected the lenses my labs can provide based on the prescription we entered above. So now all I have to do is select it from the list. I'll start by selecting the lens design. Then the material, and finally the coating. And there you have it. The lenses and associated pricing have been added to the worksheet. This demo is currently set for global pricing, but if you prefer via your store settings, you can select detailed pricing, so as to show the prices for each of the items selected here independently. Now I just need to select my lens supplier, and click on Order. For security purposes, orders are placed in a queue requiring final manager approval before being sent to the lab. But as you can see, Wink has replaced the long and tedious process of ordering labs with 2 simple clicks of the mouse, and your lab gets your prescription in exactly the right format every time. The last thing to do to this worksheet is add a frame to it. Now, since all my frames are already barcoded, all I have to do is scan a barcode like this. And the frame gets added to my invoice just like that. Now, if you weren't planning on barcoding your frames, you could type the name of that frame in the field like this, press enter, select it from the list, and there you have it. And by the way, there are so many things I haven't even shown you, like the ability to modify the price of any of these items on the fly, or the addition of what we call special instructions. Those can all be covered at a later date. You can cycle back to the invoice at any time by clicking on the payment details at the top here. As you can see, while I was filling out the RX worksheet, Wink was creating the invoice. Now again, all I need to do is swipe my credit card in the terminal, click on Charge to Card, or if you prefer, you can click on Pay. Select the payment method, cash for example, enter the amount to be paid. In this case, I'll assume the patient is leaving a $300 deposit, and click on Add. This screen shows that our payment has been received, so now I'll click on Done. As you can see here at the bottom, the system has registered that a payment of $300 has been received and has calculated the new balance owing below it. The last thing we need to do is print the receipt of this transaction. To give you an idea of what that could look like, I'll take you back to the RX worksheet. And click on Print. Next, I'll select Invoice Worksheet and Print. Now, these next few steps are not really important for your purposes, as they're related to saving receipts as PDFs, whereas you'll likely be printing receipts on paper. By the way, you may also choose to provide your patients with receipts by email. Nevertheless, for those of you printing receipts, they'll come out looking like this. As you can see, on a single sheet of paper you have an invoice for your patient, an RX worksheet for your tray, and a label for the tray as well. Printing in this format reduces both your paper consumption and cost. It's also a more organized and efficient way of working. Best of all, the pre-perforated paper you require to do this is the same price as what you would likely pay for regular paper and is also available in the Wink catalog. There are so many more things we could have shown you, including the ability to give your patients a discount, how to send recalls and reminders, how to integrate with your accounting software or with Google Calendar, and perhaps most important of all, how to generate sales and inventory reports. But all of that can wait. For now, we encourage you to go back to that email we sent you to complete the process of downloading and installing your Wink software. Then, if you like what you see, give us a call at 1-888-764-4318 and we'll get you up and running in no time. On behalf of the Wink team, I want to thank you for the confidence you've shown by downloading our totally free software. We look forward to hearing from you, so call us at 1-888-764-4318. Thanks for watching and have a great day.